Hi, I'm Addie Kidd with Art Jewelry Magazine. This is our 5-part series on making a bezel. I'm going to show you measuring. To make a bezel, the first thing you have to do is measure the circumference of your stone. One way I like to do it is to take the edge of a Post-it note. I've cut all the excess paper off, so I'm just left at the slight sticky edge. I put my stone on a bench block or something extremely flat and hold the paper upright as I wrap it around the perimeter of the stone. The stickiness of the Post-it note holds it in place long enough. You can make sure it's nice and perpendicular because you're measuring the base of the stone. I know they curve in as cabochons will do, but you're measuring the base, so you don't want the paper to curve at all. And right where they overlap is where I'll mark. So I've got this mark right there. I'll then unwrap the paper from the stone, set that aside, and trim my paper to length. I'll then transfer this measurement onto my bezel wire. I have fine silver bezel wire. You can use sterling. I like fine because it's so soft. It easily conforms to the shape of your stone. So lay that right along the edge, and just the bottom edge, the very flat edge of the Post-it note. You don't want anything up here. It might be a little different measurement. And then mark your metal again. I just used a permanent marker. You could use a scribe if you wanted. And then bezel wire is so thin that I just use snips to cut it, but you could use a saw if yours was thicker. And try to cut as perpendicular as possible. And if your bezel wire is a little wavy, as this is, it kind of goes up and down a little bit, you set it on end on your bench block and just lightly tap with a hammer. It's very soft, so you don't want to smash it down at all. You just want to straighten it out. And I flip it over and hit again, and you'll be able to see if there's any air or space beneath the bezel wire. So that's pretty straight. And then your edges, you want to make sure they're very straight. So you're going to file them, and you could file them with a bench block. For purposes here, I'll just show you what I would do. And then take the ends, and I curve them over just a little bit. And then you're going to bend them around until they meet. This doesn't have to be the same shape as your stone. That'll come later. This, you're just wanting to get the ends to meet so you can solder them. And you want them very even. This black permanent marker line will come off with the heat. And I'm just pinching them with the pliers to make sure they're nice and smooth. Since solder will not fill gaps, you want this to be completely airtight. You can't see anything through it, and nice and flat. And the next step would be soldering.